Open the door, I'm a friend.
What? No, that's not me. I'm not Esbern.
It says your name's Esbern, man.
This is just a trick to get me to open.
Why are you closed? We want to shop. Chat, there doesn't need to be a controversy about whether, like, I'm good at the game or I'm not good at the game. It's okay.
This'll just take a moment.
Like, I'm on the level, man. I'm trying to be an entertainer here. I think it's working out relatively well. I'm not worried about whether I'm not like lockpicking efficiently. I'm trying to poke fun at the min-maxing in chat while maintaining a vibe with a certain degree of levity.
Now we can talk.
All right, Ben Kingsley. This guy's voiced by Max von Sydow?
Just like the prophecy said.
That's pretty crazy. That dude was in Star Wars.
Who devours the souls of the dead.
NL plays bad on purpose because salt is comedy and comedy is ducats.
Oh yes.
Well, you give me honestly a little too much credit. The truth of the matter is I play a variety of games and as a result never hit a base level of competency in most of them. I'm gonna ride on your back as if you're my Skywalker and I'm your Yoda.
I'm gonna eat well tonight.
Whoa, 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 whoa! What the hell just happened? No wonder he kept his door locked down here. This is dangerous, man. You killed the friendly. I didn't know that thing was friendly. Anytime I see a freaking, you know, genie on fire, I'm assuming it's trying to kill me. Weren't you all about fisting your enemies to death? What happened? Oh, you're lucky that you missed the early parts of today's stream, where I finally got fed up with Unarmed Forever.
You are but a dog. I am your master.
What do you see down there? Oh, now you turn on me. Alright, pretty dope. That one's for you, Esteban. I even dropped the body down there. Excuse me? You know, if you poke your head out just right through this rock, Esteban, you can actually see Skyrim. That's not the way to get ahead in life. Exactly. He'll never be the head of a major corporation. Esteban. Hell yeah. As I go around in circles here for the 50th time. I will find my way out of here. Did you just throw a skull at me?
Watch what you're doing.
That's a really appropriate reaction, actually, to like kicking a wheel of cheese across the room. He's like, hey man, watch what you're doing.
It's been too long, old friend. Too long.
It's been such a long time since I've seen Esteban, yeah. Voiced by Max von Sydow, the Swedish thespian.
This way.
He has an extensive filmography that ranges from Star Wars to the Seventh Seal. Many films I haven't seen. Close the wardrobe behind you. What were you, raised in the Ratway Warrens or something? Yo, dude. Yo, Esteban. Thank you.
Do you know what he's talking about?
Are you talking to me? Don't try to get me engaged in your freaking exposition by asking if I know what he's talking about. I don't know shit about this world. You are the quest giver. And now describe to me your coffee game. How do you even brew? Details, pour-overs, filter machine, espresso, cold brew. Used to simply do, you know, drip coffee through a standard coffee maker. We grind our own beans, though. But that's, like, it's a start, you know? But then Sushi Cat Sans sent us the Toddy cold brew system. So basically, you put, like, a cup of water in a big plastic tub, 2 cups of coarsely ground coffee, 3 cups of water, 2 cups of coarsely ground coffee, 3 cups of water, let it sit for 12 to 24 hours. That makes coffee concentrate that stays in your fridge for up to 2 weeks. Then when you want a cup of cold brew coffee, fill 1/3 of a mug with the cold brew concentrate, the rest with cold water. There you go. There's your coffee.
I knew you'd have something.
That takes too long? It takes much less time daily than brewing your coffee every single day. I promise you that.
In the Karth River Canyon. We'll wait for you near Karth spot.
Return to Castle Wolfenstein was my favorite game when I was a kid. Lord of the Rings was my favorite movie. How old am I? You are 29 years old. But, I mean, what do you mean Lord of the Rings is your favorite movie? There's 3 films in the Lord of the Rings universe? Excusez-moi? Have you tried 49th Parallel Coffee, though? They're a life changer based in Vancouver. Awesome coffee. I will order it from 1,000 miles away every month. Parallel 49 is indeed legit. I've been to the... They got multiple kind of like roasting shops in Vancouver. I do make an effort to buy Parallel 49, but the coffee game is strong here, honestly. You can get a lot of different brands of coffee that can all hold it down, but Parallel 49 is one of them for sure. And I'll try for hipster cred by drinking cold brew. It's not hipster cred, it's just convenient. Rank the ages from 1 to your age. I'm not going to do that, but that's a great discussion for the NLSS. I just feel like I couldn't drive it entirely myself, you know? It's a little too masturbatory, but to have Nick on there, I think we could have conflicting opinions and we could have an interesting discussion. Like the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory thing blew my mind. People think Augustus Gloop is the #1, like, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory child. Because he knows what he wants and he goes for it. Come on. It's nonsensical. Charlie is obviously, even if you don't like Charlie, you gotta admit he's #1. He won the day. What? Stop that. Oh my god. Don't even start with me. Chad said I'm forbidden to fight dragons for a little while. Well, this guy joined. I see you in chat. You're saying stop coffee talk. And then you say coffee's overrated. I don't understand why it's so popular. You're forcing coffee talk with your controversial opinions here. You can't be like, oh, I don't want to talk about, you know, X. By the way, I completely disagree with popular opinion X. He just got you to talk about it, get played? Did I get played? I don't feel like I got played. People are always like, you know, you got played. I don't think you get played until you feel like you've been played. And I don't feel like I've been played in this situation. I already got banned for it. What do you think? Is this double jeopardy? You can't get banned for something twice? It's not double jeopardy. The film starring Ashley Judd and Benjamin Bratt. It's regular jeopardy. You can get multiple questions wrong on regular jeopardy. You're starting to go into your yelling at Michael Caine voice? Michael! Double Jeopardy was just a movie, Michael! Well, you know what? Let's experiment a little bit. Let's do every possible permutation to start with. Might not be the right way, but it's brute force. Here we go. We're gonna go Ohm Wrecker, and then Tribal Tattoo. Ohm Wrecker, Monster Hunter. Ohm Wrecker, Ohm Wrecker. Okay. Now we're gonna go Tribal Tattoo, Ohm Wrecker. Tribal Tattoo, Tribal Tattoo, Tribal Tattoo, Monster Hunter. So you're gonna be like Ohm, Ohm, blah. Oh! Oh! It's triple Ohm? That's too easy. Try Aladdin, Jafar, Genie, Aladdin. That's an old reference. Oh my god! Holy shit! The clue is at the White House. Yo, I was listening to Comedy Bang Bang last night, and it was the episode Almost Mandatory with Jason Mantzoukas and Thomas Middleditch. And they totally talk about Twitch. That was a bit of a sobering moment. Thomas Middleditch was like, it's kind of surreal because I've turned my job, or I've turned my passion or my hobby of playing video games into a job where I get yelled at by angry teenagers on the internet. And I was like, well, that's a little too real, Tommy Middledee. Alright. Thomas Middlebitch? Well, that's just exceptionally rude. Great start. Okay, good one. Guess we'll go back and do that again. I'm not saying you guys are angry teenagers. I'm just saying there are angry teenagers on Twitch. Ah! Well, okay, we gotta step on something. Oh my god! So there's a puzzle in here. That was not the right way to handle that. I actually believe, and I've said this before, you kind of get what you give on Twitch. You know, there's lots of great stuff on Twitch, there's lots of kind of shitty stuff on Twitch. Attitude-wise, I think to some extent, you get out what you put in. we try to keep things, you know, light and funny, and I think we get a lot of light and funny stuff in chat. When people say, like, man, NL's chat is, like, poison, I'm like, well, yeah, like, go watch, like, the average huge Twitch stream, and it is actually, like, hell. Our stream, sometimes chat is unusable because of the fact that it's moving too fast, but it's, for the most part, it's fairly, you know, positive. And I think it's, you know, partly because you guys are a little bit more mature, and partly because, you know, we on the stream have that attitude. Sometimes we do get a little gross, though. Ohm records are good symbols. There's no... Is this the terminus? What's going on? Oh! Jesus Christ! Not a smart idea. Pull the chain. Oh, there's a chain on the pillar. Why didn't you say so? I mean, this looks like some shit straight out of Prometheus. Prometheus was actually inspired by this temple? I'd be surprised. Madness is the fate that is a cut out of me. Come on, get down with the sick. Wait a couple hours? Are you serious? Do you have any good book recommendations? What are your thoughts on Moby Dick? I honestly, I don't have any good book recommendations. I'm not as much of an avid reader as I should be.
Remarkably well preserved. No doubt it's triggered by, well, blood. Your blood, Dragonborn.
Yeah, I bet. How about your blood, old man?
You see how the ancient blades revered Reman Cyrodiil?
Yo, we're looking pretty boss, you gotta admit.
It's coming to life.
What are your thoughts on Moby Dick? I haven't read it, so I don't have an opinion necessarily. I've heard it's great.
You should have the honor of being the priest.
Wasn't it like Moby Dick, when it came out, was somewhat popular, but it only became seriously popular after a war, and then it became like allegorical or something as true genius was revealed or something? I mean, I'm into books. One thing that really irks me, and it's not like my pet peeve or like, I hate when people do this, you won't believe what number one is. But I hate when people are like, proud of not reading. Like, you don't have to be ashamed of not reading, but I hate when people are like, why would I read books anymore? We're in the era of digital media. I'm like, yo, this is people, you can gain insight. It's time travel. You can gain insight into a world that you will never have the chance to live in, and you can put yourself in the minds and hearts and the spirits of, like, the people from that era. I'd rather just watch Narcos. Like, I don't have anything against Narcos. I'm just saying, like, don't be proud of not reading. You know, being learned and acting intelligent is something to be proud of, man. You asked about doing a meetup in the Vancouver area. I'm gonna start this off right by the top. I'll say, if you ever see me, don't hesitate to say hello. I was coming back from downtown this week, and nice young man by the name of Winston standing next to me on the SkyTrain. He says, I think this is a weird question, but are you Northernlion? And I was like, heck yeah, I am. We had a little conversation. I got off the SkyTrain, aka our light rail transit. It was good. But am I going to do a meetup? Probably not. And my explanation is I like to keep my public life and my private life separated, and I don't consider myself a celebrity, and I'm a little uncomfortable with the idea. That's not to say you should, you know, feel bad for asking or something like that, but I like to, you know, stream, do YouTube stuff. I love it, but and then just kind of live my life, you know. But if you see me, please don't hesitate to say hello, and you know, we'll have a little chat or something. But as for like renting a place and doing like a meetup for the sole purpose of like celebrating myself, yeah, the idea makes me somewhat uncomfortable, to be honest with you. I don't even like being at like my own birthday party. People are like, I got you a gift. I'm like, oh, don't do that. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable.
Presumably something rather specific.
How tall was he? He was like, you know, 175 centimeters, 5'10", and a half maybe. Oh my god, we got the shout that can knock dragons out of the sky. 175 centimeters is not 5'10". It's, no, 175 centimeters is not 6'2". 105 centimeters to feet. It's 5.7 feet, which is not 5'7" inches. That's literally 5'9", you jokers. Thought you guys measured height in Imperial up there? I'm trying to be the change I want to see in the world and using metric, because we use metric for everything else. But all it means is that I have to do translations. So whenever somebody, you know, is from America, like our brother and sister-in-law, and then, you know, they're like, how far is it from here to this place? I'm like, 30 kilometers, which is roughly like 21 miles. Or something like that. It was actually 24 miles. I can't remember. No, slightly less. When NL has to look up a fact on Google, you know you messed up. This is why you bring your questions to me, because if I don't know, I try not to bullshit. I understand, you know, the evidence, and I'll look it up. If Kate comes to me with a question and I don't know, I say look it up. If I know, I tell her. But I try not to bullshit. I have great respect for the sanctity of knowledge. Can we talk about how powerful Dan's son is going to be with the name Desmond Daniel Giesling? He's going to become like a hardcore rapper, man. DDG! NL, since you are Canadian, are you more French or British? I was from not the French-speaking part of Canada, so I'm definitely more British. But like beyond that, people are always like, what's your ancestry? And I'm like, Canadian. And then they're like, no, but like, where are your grandparents from? And I'm like, Canada. And they're like, where are your great-grandparents from? I'm like, oh, Canada. And they're like, okay, what about like, where was your blood originally, you know, formed in the fires of conception? And I'm like, well, like 5 generations back, I had one British great-grandparent. And they're like, okay, so you're British. Why didn't you just say it? But we're actually like, I have like the most pure Canadian DNA that's basically possible to have. All I'm saying is if there's ever a race war, people are going to hold me up as like a level of Canadian purity. You're lucky that Canadians are largely a non-violent race and we're okay with, you know, everything. But if it ever happens, they're going to be like, damn, that dude has like 100% Canadian blood coursing through his veins. Will you be the figurehead of our movement? And I'll be like, no, I'm not going to be the figurehead of your movement because it's based on bigotry and ignorance. Oh, it says, no, you're not Aboriginal. Okay, you have a great point. I didn't mean to be insensitive there. Not to be a jerk, but look at your French-Canadian family name. It's true, but, like, that's in the distant past. Like, it's not a French-Canadian name. I'm pretty sure it actually comes from, like, actual France. And then, at some point in my distant past, obviously, there's some French intermarrying. NL, how do you feel about Justin Trudeau's awkward handshake? Regardless of whether or not I agree with our Prime Minister, I look around the world right now, and I'm like, thank God we are spared of the insanity that's going on in Europe, the absurdity of the American election right now, and that's not even like a political opinion. It's just, I'm glad that we're like on stable ground. Everything's thrown up in the air in other parts of the world, some other parts of the world right now. In Canada right now, I'm like, okay, we got who we got. Let's roll with it for a little while. It's a good time, you know? Let's just focus on working right now. And then, you know, in 4 years, we'll all be at each other's throats when the election happens again. But for now, let's just enjoy it.
Wind, guide you.
Yeah, wind guide you as well. I need to learn, I need to shout this dude down.
Did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to?
Does it matter?
Yes. For matters of such gravity, we need to...
Hey, Arngeir, how about I shout you off this fucking cliff? Teach me how to da. Thoughts on Ottawa as a place to live? What are you looking for? Ottawa has small town charm with a little bit of a big city vibe. Fairly tiny. I mean, it's only like 200,000 people, but it's got a genuine downtown, nice culture, close to Quebec, international airport. I like Ottawa quite a lot. You're going to have a real winter in Ottawa, but still.
They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand.
Genuine downtown? I live here and that's nonsense. I mean, it doesn't have a downtown of like a Toronto, but what I mean is that there is a district where you can go and walk to stores as opposed to having to drive everywhere. And now, what's the capital of Wisconsin? Oh, I fucking knew it. I knew it when I was programming Capitals quiz. It's not Green Bay. It starts with an L. Wisconsin starts with an L. I can't remember.
The Blades may say they
We got him. He doesn't know. Yeah, you got... I don't know the capital of Wisconsin. I forgot. NL, what should I expect when I move to... It's Madison. Dang it, I knew it started with something close to an L.
Dragon Rend.
What should I expect when I move to Vancouver in 2 months? You will not be able to have a conversation with somebody without it revolving around the cost of real estate in the city. That's what you should expect when you move to Vancouver in 2 months. That and, like, the most beautiful weather on planet Earth, as long as you're okay with rain. But, it doesn't even rain that much. It's capital of Oklahoma's Oklahoma City, dog. Don't even start with me. If the Shadow's lost, how can I defeat Alduin, though?
Only Pathanax.
Oh, only Pathanax, the master of our order, can answer that question. You're gonna have to fast travel back to Riften, where he lives in a fucking cave. How do I get to the top of the mountain to see him?
Those whose voice is strong.
Oh, just teach me.
We will teach you a
It's capital of Montana. It's fucking Billings. Don't come to me with these third-grade questions. Is Vancouver a jungle like Toronto? What does that mean? It has some uncomfortable connotations if I'm just making assumptions on it. Do you mean, like, is it humid? It's not that humid here, despite being, like, close to the ocean. I can't imagine having to pay a provincial sales tax. I was actually blown away when I looked into Washington State, and they're like, in Washington State, we don't pay state-level income tax, but we do have a high sales tax. And then you go, okay, what's the sales tax? 7%. That's so low, man. We pay 13% sales tax here. And that's actually a diminishment. It used to be 15. It actually is Helena. God damn it. Oh, it's still 15 in Toronto. We pay 7 here, and we still have income tax. Well, in Seattle, or, well, in Washington State, you still pay federal level income tax, you just don't pay state. Which is still, like, that's a great deal, obviously, but Dutch sales tax is 21%. I mean, that's high. I'm with you. I guess I did it.
Your final gift from us, Dragonborn.
You've only given me, like, 2 gifts. I mean, that's, like, don't act like it's, like, the 100th gift you've given me. It's a little presumptuous. What does the Susudio mean? It means that there's a girl that's been on my mind all of the time. Susudio? What's your take on French-speaking Canadians? Live and let live, man. I think we're all burned out on capitals. How about naming X cities in state/country Y? I mean, if people agree that they want to see it, it sounds a little dry to me, but if that's what people want, then people can get what they want. Name a city in Illinois that's not Chicago. The capital of Illinois is not Chicago. It's like Peoria or something. Can't remember. Which state is Kansas City in? It's actually in both Kansas and Missouri, as the Magnetic Field song Long Vermont Roads has taught me. Springfield, that's it. Fun times in Springfield again, still Springfield. Come on down to Springfield town, everyone. Under construction since 1868. I guess my dude just threw up on himself. This is a good dragon, right? It's gotta be a good dragon. Yeah, he's got a quest marker.
Greetings, Wunderni.
Tomo, what's wrong, buddy? Why live alone on a mountain if you love conversation?
Evenar Balok. There are many hungers it is better to deny than to feed.
I believe that.
Discipline against the lesser aids in Kachnar.
This guy totally edges. That's what he's saying. He jerks off every day, but he hasn't come in months.
Why do you come here, Volan? Drem.
NL, how do you feel about the fact that the Edmonton Oilers are going to win the 2016-2017 season? It's not possible. Well, I mean, it's literally possible. The Oilers, they can't get that good that fast. I think that they will be a lot better next year. But winning the Stanley Cup, I don't think so. But they have made themselves much better. To be honest with you, I thought those were his eyes until I backed up a little bit. Wait, those are his eyes. No, wait, that's the nostrils. His eyes are on the side here, I see. What about them Canucks? I'm happy we signed Louis Eriksson, because it means that hopefully our first line at least will be like watchable next year. But we will probably still be garbage next year, yes. Are you mad Lucic chose Edmonton over Vancouver? Honestly, most of the Vancouver Canucks fans that I know didn't really want to see Lucic sign here, especially for a long term. So it's kind of easy come, easy go. Okay, use the fire breath shout on Pathanax. If you say so, dude. I mean, like, you're really bringing this upon yourself, but if you feel like this will be productive, then by all means.
Why do you delay? Yes. Sosedo Vlostmul. The dragon blood runs strong in you. It is long since...
Canucks seriously need to tank, but Benning... Well, I'm not gonna call him a monkey. That's like a little diminutive for a person, but,
So, you have made...
Oh, I guess see you later, Parthenax. I mean, we're still gonna suck next year. Like, we're gonna be trash. So, I think he's doing a fine job of letting us tank. We did come in third last year. Looks like Team Parthenax is blasting off again! I'm a little confused about what's going on here. I can't hear you, dude. How's the weather up there? Oh, okay. He's in the Dragon Wrench shouter. Yeah, okay, sure. Dude, just hook me up. Okay, oh my god. Fucking, what? Jesus Christ. I would like to point out that I did say, hey, you sure you want me to use this fucking breath on you? And then I used the breath on him and he flew away forever. Okay, see you in hell. Yo, Parthenax, what the fuck, dude? This is no way to have a conversation, man. You really don't remember any of the conversation that we just had? Yeah, Lokthum, whatever. Just gotta go right, then left. Just gotta go right, then left. Oh, okay, we slipping. Never let me slip, because if I slip, then I'm slipping. If I got my Nina on, you know I'm straight tripping. This made up for the bullshit in the first hour. I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that. This is gonna be a tough one to live through. I'm just gonna be honest with you about that. Yo, okay. Understandable.